क्या करना है बताओ। As my wish. No, no. So I think none of you have any, like very few of you have any idea that who am I. So I should first, I think, start with my own introduction, and then I will be asking a few of you from where you are, what you are doing. Uh, so anybody has any idea who am I? कुछ पढ़ा है फिर मेरे बारे में, कुछ सुना है? हम्म। नहीं। ठीक है। So this is me. Not this. That is not me. This is me, Isho Kumar Singh. I am currently teaching students for UPSC and other state examinations, PCS and all. I have qualified UPSC twice. I have given interview twice. I have been one of the highest scorers in prelims in 2017. This was my very first attempt. I am one of the highest scorers in sociology optional. This is like all-time high. Have given my interview in the very first attempt. Currently, I am teaching at Vision IAS. हाँ, ठीक. So some of you have idea. So, and this session is about how to prepare, how those who are very beginner, they do not have much idea about what to do, how to go about. So once in a month, we take these sessions. If you are part of the WhatsApp groups, you have received such messages. You generally get this message once in a month. So once in a month, we start a batch. The batch is NCERT batch. So this is going on for last about 2 years now. And once in a month, we select some students for our NCERT batch, which is basically free or at a very minimal cost. So this session is about that, how to start preparation, what you can do if you're a complete beginner, whether you should go for a coaching or you should go for self-study or you should go for some online classes, offline classes, दिल्ली जाएं कि नहीं जाएं, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस के बारे में बात करेंगे in this session. Anybody who has any problem in understanding Hindi, South Indians, or somebody from Northeast, those who have like complete problem in understanding Hindi. Okay, so ठीक है, in between, if I am saying something in Hindi and if you are not able to understand, Dakshin, Shravan, you just ask me and I will repeat the same in Hindi or in English. So don't worry about that. Now, about UPSC preparation, how many of you are thinking about preparing for UPSC, like have already decided that this is the exam that I have to give? कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने डिसाइड कर लिया? You can raise your hand or type in the chat box I am. Just write in the chat box I am. I have or I am decided. I have decided. But I have to go. I have to do UPSC. Good. So ठीक है. About Kamlesh, Ansika, Nukul, I can see Pujitha, Abutni here in the chats. Sonu, Manshiv, Vinodhini, Abhijit, Neeraj, Narmada, Naresh, Pratibha, Pragati, Priyanka, Nandini, Shonu, Vijay, Ravi, Neeraj. Good. ठीक है. So the very first question I think that we should answer before going into okay, how to prepare, what books to read, what coaching to follow, what teachers to follow, what YouTube videos to watch, or how to study. The first question should be that can you do it? Very unusual question, right? We generally start with this. Most of the time, people ask, "Why should I do it?" So we should start with this question: that who can do, who should prepare for UPSC and who should not? Is it that anybody can prepare for UPSC, or there are certain traits, there are certain things that if a person has certain things, then only he should prepare for UPSC? And this is a question that I ask most of the people whenever I meet even some serious candidates, some senior bureaucrats. If you will see my interview with many of the retired IAS, IPS officers, those who take interview, I always have this question: can we identify certain personality traits based upon which we can say that this person has at least the basic raw materials to be an IAS? Or is it like anybody, if they will study for 2 years and can crack this exam? क्या लगता है तुम लोगों को? How many of you think if anybody will study for this exam seriously, devoting everything that he has for 1, 2 years or 3 years and can qualify this exam? You can say in the comment box if you agree. Yes, anybody can qualify, or just type yes. If you think anybody can qualify. If you think no, then type no. I'm not asking about you guys personally, just I'm asking about a general question that can anybody qualify this exam, or it needs certain things, certain qualities, certain attitude to qualify this exam? Mahi is saying, I have attended one time prelims but fail and leave that way. After 2 years of PG, I again return toward my aim, but always getting scared of it, getting demotivated. Now, if you ask me, when these coaching institutes, most of the coaching institutes will tell you, I personally find it as a propaganda when people say ki anybody can crack this exam. Oh, anybody cannot do anything. Anybody cannot be a sweeper. Anybody cannot clean the house. How can anybody can qualify this exam? There is always certain, I personally believe, and whosoever I meet, if when we discuss behind the doors, not on the platform, because on the screen everybody wants to motivate people कि ठीक है तुम करो ना हो जाएगा, सबको मोटिवेशन पसंद आता है. But if you will meet people personally, सब यही कहते हैं यार कुछ तो होना चाहिए ना, एक बेसिक तो होना चाहिए. इफ यू लैक द बेसिक फाउंडेशन, it will take you years to build that basic foundation. 6 years, 7 years. अब उतना basic foundation in order to make such a basic foundation, you need to put a lot of effort. I think I'm speaking in English only, Dakshin. So I personally think there are certain qualities that must be there in the people if they want to qualify this exam. Now, what can be those basic traits? Whenever I come across any student, now I have almost mentored about 10,000 students. Many of my students have qualified the exam. Some of have got good ranks. They are already in the service. And after taking interview of so many students, I think there are certain traits that are must in a candidate if he or she wants to qualify this exam. कुछ बेसिक चीजें हैं वो तो हर स्टूडेंट में होनी ही चाहिए. What are these basic traits? First thing is an academic mindset, because some people are not made for academics. Roger saying, please speak in English. I am hearing impaired candidate. I am using speech translator software. Himanshu, this speech translator software is not very accurate. That is made for the American accent. So whatever I will be speaking, speaking in English only, but it will not be translating that properly. Many of the words would be mispronounced. So I don't think that this is a very good platform for you. I will be sharing my number with you. Himanshu is a hearing impaired student. So this is my number, 8368481944. This is on WhatsApp. You can text me on WhatsApp, and then I can answer to your questions. You do not need to waste your time here not because of my problem, because of the problem of the software. Somebody is saying I can conduct meeting on Google Meet. This Zoom is far better than Google Meet. Don't worry. It's not that issue. You're not understanding the problem. Anyway, so I think that there are certain traits that must be there in a student before jumping into this now. I will go, or because initially when you start thinking about, you saw this Instagram reels and videos and motivation and news that this IAS done this and that they're so popular, they're earning so much money, so much respect. It pumps you up. Your brain releases a lot of dopamine. It's a happy hormone. It pumps you up and you start thinking, हम भी कर देंगे, no matter what कर देंगे. But the reality is very different from them. UPSC preparation, the path of UPSC preparation goes through a lot of dark tunnels. And if you do not have that ability to stay strong, even in those times, then probably you are not made for this exam. Other than that, I think discipline. Discipline. If I have decided that I will read, then I will read. If I have decided that I will write answer, then I will write answer. The discipline is very, very, very important part of this exam. If you're not disciplined, if you are someone who gets bored very easily, you join a video, you start watching a YouTube lecture, if you watch it for 5 minutes and then you think, Arey, that text message of my friend is there on WhatsApp, I have to reply to him, or I have talked to someone there. If you do not have that patience and that discipline, this exam is going to be very difficult for you. So with these two traits, perseverance. No matter what, I will sustain. No matter how dark the times are, I will fight and I will move on. And the discipline that if I have decided that I will do this at a certain point of time, I will do only that thing, nothing else. During some other sessions, we will be talking about how to build discipline, how to build willpower. Today, I got a very interesting question, and before going into how to prepare and all, I would like to pick this question. One of the students sent this question to me. देखते हैं. Wait a second. So just wait a second. One of the students sent me this question today. And I was thinking, since he has sent me this question, I'm thinking about this, what to reply, what to tell him. Saying he's an old student, he's saying, sir, I'm searching YouTube to find the ways to study in a scientific way. Some are saying study for 30 minutes and take break. Some are saying study for 45 minutes and take break for 15 minutes. Some are saying study for 3 long hours. I have tried everything. But whenever I take break for 5 minutes, it turn up into 15 minutes. What should I do? I think this has become a very basic problem with this YouTube generation where you want to find the answer of everything on YouTube. How to study. कितने लोगों को ये problem face? Any of you who is facing the similar kind of problem? You can raise your hands or type yes. नहीं? Some of you are here. Okay. I think it is a bigger pandemic than COVID. It has left no one. Most of us are facing the same issue. We will be talking about this. So those who have joined this session late, just a brief introduction about me. Keshav Kumar Singh. I'm a BTech by degree. 2013, 2017 pass out. So I graduated in 2017, and if you are seeing my mark sheet, I appeared for UPSC in the same year. ठीक है, जिस साल फाइनल ईयर का एग्जाम दिया था, इनफैक्ट इन द सेम मंथ, my 8th semester was in May 2017, and I gave my first attempt as an appearing candidate in May 2017. I qualified prelims in the very first attempt while I was in college. In the first attempt, I went on to qualify mains. I went on to write mains. I qualified mains. I gave interview in the very first attempt and was one of the highest scorer. I was an engineer and I scored one of the highest marks in sociology optional. The marks in paper 2, it's still one of the highest marks. The record is still not broken. Currently, I'm teaching at various institutes, and on this platform, we try to help those students who need a proper guidance, who cannot, or who are serious about UPSC preparation. So there is an attempt to help you in a way before jumping into this exam, before putting your lakhs of rupees or wasting your 2 years, 3 years. You should have a way. You should know what to do, what not to do, so that if you find it useful, you will find कि अच्छा ये करना चाहिए, then you can pursue. If you do not, you should leave and you should search for something else. So Jaya is saying, whenever I try to be serious and focused, there's a lot of fear and doubts in my mind, and a lot of time gets wasted while trying to get perfect way to start. VP सिंह से सर आई एम ऑल्सो फेसिंग, और मैं तो कुछ ज्यादा ही फेस कर रहा हूँ. बिफोर फ्यू इयर्स बैक मैं काफी लॉन्ग आवर तक पढ़ता था, पर धीरे धीरे कंसंट्रेशन बिगड़ गया बिकॉज ऑफ जॉब एंड देन कोविड. There's a lot of way before me, but Narmada is saying, but to not know where to go. Perfectly put by many of you. See, and that's why before I start this session, I use this uh, beautiful representation of the hurdles that we face. The first step is the steepest one. It's the most difficult to take. And if you can take the first step in the correct direction, it only gets easier and easier. When I was preparing, I have prepared on my own. I was in West Bengal in an engineering college, in a government engineering college. At that time, there was not this much craze of online classes, online tutorials, very limited set of books, very limited guidance, and still I was able to qualify, and not only qualify, I was qualified with flying colors. If any of you have ever seen the cutoff of prelims, prelims का cutoff कितना होता है? किसी को पता है? How, what is the cutoff of prelims normally? How much it remains around? Generally you will find कितना रहता है? About 50%. So if the marks is of 200, so cutoff will be around 50%, less than 100. That's the trend. I scored 118 marks. You can probably imagine कितना बड़ा gap रहा होगा. What kind of effort I would have put into this. 118 marks. 120 नहीं रहता है. It's last time it was 87 only for the general category. So it's most of the time it's less than 100. So I was able to do this on my own, self-study. Now, Jaya, that's what we are going to talk about in this class. Dekho, when you start UPSC preparation, there are two ways to go about. You can go for a coaching. हम सब कुछ डिस्कस करते हैं ना, all the positive and negative scenarios, instead of just giving my opinion कि ये होना चाहिए, तुम ये कर लो. Let's discuss what can be done. So there are two ways. You go for a coaching or you go for self-study. Now, if you are going for a coaching, there are two options nowadays. You can either go for an offline coaching or you can go for an online coaching. Now, if you're going for an offline coaching, then again, I think there are two options. If there is anything else, all of you are free to pitch in. That's how I think. So if you're going for offline coaching, I think there are two options. You can go to Delhi, or you can go to your nearest city. So if you're in Mumbai, you can go to Pune. If you're in UP, you can go to Lucknow, or if you're in South, you can go to Bangalore or Chennai or Kochi. So your nearest place, your own state, your nearest place, wherever you are, you can go for that. Then if you're planning to go, let's think about this. Delhi, I think most of you are either working or in college. How many of you are full-time aspirants? Those who are not doing anything, like your graduation is over and you are free to go wherever you want to go. Anyone here? full-time aspirants? Okay, Archana is preparing full-time, and I can see some hands here. iPhone, Mehreen, Vinod, Shibu. So few of you are, अच्छा देवव्रत, I हो class में. So few of you are preparing for the full time, and probably you can go to Delhi. Now let's first discuss what you will get in Delhi, whether you should go to Delhi or not, right? पहले यही डिस्कस कर लेते हैं कि दिल्ली जाना चाहिए या नहीं जाना चाहिए. What are the pros and cons of Delhi? Pros and cons of Delhi. What are the pros? क्या फायदा है दिल्ली जाने से? Hmm? What are the pros? What do you think? Delhi क्यों जाना चाहिए? Why should we go to Delhi? What are the benefits of going to Delhi? Anything? Anyone? नहीं? Collect the best sources. Somebody saying good coaching, as people say, preparation start कहाँ से करना है? Mindset क्या होना चाहिए? हम लोग long time में motivated रह सके. I will be talking about that, Sonu. Let's go in a process now. Let's follow one step at a time. Can get study material, increase competitiveness. Okay, so what do I think of Delhi? What you can get in Delhi? That Delhi has best faculties. There is no doubt in that. Delhi had best faculties. Why it has best faculties? Because naturally the salary is very high. It pays a lot. So I'm working with someone because it pays a lot. Okay, it pays more than if I will be teaching in some other state. It does not pay that much because the crowd is not that much. So most of the good faculties will ultimately settle down in Delhi. दूसरे स्टेट में, in some other district, some other states, if you are finding a faculty, the chances are, most probably the chances are that he is not able to make his mark in Delhi, not able to create his place in the market of the Delhi. That's why they have started their coaching in some other state. क्योंकि ultimately teachers are teaching for money. तो एक मुझे ये लगता है they have best faculties. But the problem with this, the associated problem with this is, can you get the best faculty? And how much time of that faculty you can get? Any coaching institute will have one or two or three good teachers. Even in the institute that I teach, most of the time students keep complaining कि सर art and culture अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, सर economics के teacher अच्छे नहीं हैं. Some or other batch will always face this problem because the demand is so high. The good faculties cannot be you. All of you must have done classes in your coaching in class 11th and 12th, and you know that how the system works. The best faculties will be taking a few classes, and then rest of the classes or the whole coaching runs on their name. So study material, I don't think is a big advantage, because nowadays study material is available everywhere. Online, I think online study materials are even more easily available than the Delhi. And access of study material is not a pro. Actually, it is a con nowadays. There is so much study materials in the market that students could not even filter what to read. So that also becomes a con. Pro, some of you are saying competitiveness. Yes, you get that atmosphere. A lot of people are there preparing for you, preparing for it. You get some sort of motivation कि हाँ मुझे भी ये करना चाहिए या मैं भी ये कर सकता हूँ. But again, if you will really go to Delhi, क्या मिलता है वहां पे? most of the students, I can say it with certainty कि 95% of students there are there just because हम लोग कहते थे they are not preparing for UPSC, they are preparing for JBPS just because पापा said, पापा ने बोला है तो करना है, तो वो JPPSC करने आए हैं जस्ट बिकॉज पापा सेट कमीशन है उनका, or just because somebody has said my father has this dream and I don't know whatever to do. And most of them are doing what? In the very first class, they will look for ki which is the best suitable match for them. कौन सी लड़की अच्छी है, कौन सा लड़का अच्छा है. Then they will not prepare for themselves. They will say, okay, I will sacrifice my preparation, but I will help you to become an IAS officer. अल्टीमेटली nobody becomes an IAS officer. दोनों एक दूसरे का बस मदद ही करते रहते हैं कि I will sacrifice everything for you and you sacrifice everything, और वो कहेगी कि I will sacrifice everything for you and ultimately nothing happens. So this competitiveness, I think, becomes most of the time a distraction. If any of you have been to Delhi or living in Delhi, probably would have felt or realized this situation. कॉन्स, अगर एक बहुत बड़ा कॉन्स देखे दिल्ली में, सो दैट इज द कॉस्ट. हाउ मच it will cost if you will get into a good coaching institute. Let's suppose you're going to Vision or Vajiram, Next IAS, or any such popular coachings. It will be costing anywhere around 2 lakh if you will take test series and optional classes, and also about 2.5 lakh. Then if you are staying there at least for 1.5 year, and the minimum cost if you are taking 10,000 per month, so again here you have 1.5 lakh ka expenditure. So almost in Delhi the UPSC preparation costs 4 to 5 lakh rupees if you are going to Delhi. And if you have this much amount, if you are ready to invest this much amount, then only you can go to Delhi, and even you should try Delhi. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. Population, temperature, yes, Santosh. So, I personally never suggest students to go to Delhi. My own sister is preparing. I personally do not want or suggest anyone to move to Delhi. इसके पीछे एक और रीजन है, if you are coming from a middle class family, you can spend 4 or 5 lakh rupees. It doesn't matter in the short run. But in the long run, what happens now? UPSC preparation is a long game. It's not a one-time sprint that तुमने आज शुरू किया, कल खत्म कर लिया, everything is over. If you can qualify in your first attempt, well and good. बहुत बढ़िया है, you are on the top of world, you are the king of it. But for the second year, for the third year, this economic burden, that money that you have spent on the coaching now will always haunt you. कि बाप रे इतना खर्च कर दिया पेरेंट्स का और फिर भी यूपीएससी नहीं हो रहा है. So this your second attempt and third attempt, instead of improving in those attempts, you will be burdened not because of your failure, but also because of the financial pressure that you have taken on yourself or you have put on your family. And this I'm telling you about with a lot of experience. ये होता है. I was constantly giving interviews. In first few attempts, the parents were very happy. Wherever I was going, I was like getting that celebrity wala recognition. Oh, he has given the interview in the first attempt, and so on and so forth. But later that burden started to seep in. कि अच्छा, ये चल रहा है क्या? And even when I was not spending that much money, दूसरे नियरेस्ट में आई डू नॉट थिंक एनी अदर सिटी प्रोवाइड यू any good faculty, good coaching, good material. I cannot suggest you any other place in India where you can prepare. If you really want to go for an offline coaching, then you should definitely move to Delhi. अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि there is no other option for you, you must have to go for an offline. Do not go for any state ka coaching because not even Hyderabad, not even Bangalore. I'm constantly talking to these hundreds of students. Most they are so unprofessional. In most of the coachings, they will not complete the syllabus. I think many of you already have been a victim of this. फैकल्टीज नहीं है, एक दो सब्जेक्ट्स की फैकल्टीज हैं, बाकी सब भगवान भरोसे चल रहा है. सो आई थिंक ultimately, if I will say, like, it's taking a lot of time, but the gist of all is कि wherever you are going, if you are not studying on your own, if the self-study part is missing, you cannot qualify this exam. Now, the problem with self-study is कि what to study. Now, you may think I will join a coaching and I will get all this idea कि क्या पढ़ना है नहीं पढ़ना है. But it doesn't happen actually. Most of the good coachings are so big and so professionally organized that they are not going to tell you कि तुमको specifically क्या चाहिए, where you are lacking. That personal feedback is always missing. Yes, Archana. So in in a crowd of 5,500 students, one batch in a good coaching consists of about 500 students. Even if you have a doubt, who is going to answer your doubt? And most of the time, you will not even ask your doubt because in a 500 students, nobody wants to make a fool of yourself. है ना? बेवकूफ नहीं बनना है, हमारे अंदर वो सीप इन कर दिया गया है, ये क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछना है, सो लेट इट पास. एंड यू कैन ओनली आस्क क्वेश्चंस व्हेन यू हैव रेड समथिंग. तुम पढ़ के जाओगे तब तो क्वेश्चन पूछोगे. सो I will be sharing you my own strategy, what I did when I was preparing. You are always free to choose what you can do or what you have to do. देखो, you should plan for about 2 years. An approximate time, if you will ask me, that you should devote to this exam is 1.5 months or 1.5 years or 18 months. 18 महीने का टाइम तुम्हें देना चाहिए इस एग्जाम को, कम से कम. इतना टाइम with dedication, if you are preparing, you can qualify this exam. Now, some of you may be targeting 23. And you should target 23. There is nothing wrong in that. But you also have to be realistic. Because the syllabus is so big, there are so many things to read. You cannot just rush through those things. So, what I did, I started my preparation in 2014 when I was in second year. तब मुझे लगा कि like CSC computer science is not for me. I need to do something else. I was already doing, or probably I've not shown you. So during that time, I had already started my NGO. I was teaching students, I was teaching kids, and I realized that I have a different calling. I have a bigger passion to follow. So I started preparation for UPSC. Second year, the only thing I did is I completed my NCERTs. Focused on NCERTs, try to read it from the basics. Third year of my college, completed all the standard books, all the reference books which are suggested, completed those, and started reading optionals. Slowly, slightly started reading optionals. Fourth year, mock test, answer writing, essay writing, and finished my optionals. Fourth year, I gave the exam, I qualified the exam. That's the very simple strategy. इसमें और कुछ नहीं है. हाँ, one thing which was good about me, which was positive for me, that I was reading newspaper. Since I don't know, since five, six, I had this habit of reading newspapers. I was continuously reading newspapers. My current affairs is very good. If you have seen my mark sheet, also you will see कि wherever current affairs is involved, I have scored very good marks. तो जिस पेपर में करंट अफेयर्स का पोर्शन होता है वहां मेरे नंबर बहुत अच्छे आए. पेपर टू में करंट अफेयर्स आता है, पेपर टू में बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स है. सोशियोलॉजी पेपर टू में थोड़ा डायनामिक होता है, वेरी गुड मार्क्स. सो आई वाज कॉन्स्टेंटली रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर्स. दैट वाज अ बून फॉर मी. सो based upon my own experiences, we started this NCERT batch. Probably some of you might have seen the notification about that as well. तो हम लोगों ने यही सोचकर एक एनसीईआरटी बैच स्टार्ट किया, that students who are starting, who are thinking about preparation, they should first cover their basic NCERTs from class 6 to 12. जितना सबको कर लेना चाहिए. Now, initially I just used to tell students, do your NCERTs from class 6 to 12. But then I realized that some students, for me, I was good in social studies. When I had read in class 9th and 10th also, I had made very good, decent notes even back then. I used to fight my teachers, if they will deduct my marks in history or geography. So I was very interested. It was not difficult for me to read NCERTs, but when I started teaching, I found that students are not able to get a hang of it. NCERT पढ़ना कैसे है यही नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. So we started this batch, which is, I think, one of the best thing that I have done in my life. In this, we cover all the subjects. So geography to ignore karo. From 1st of September, we will be starting history. And we start right from the basics, from class 6. And we cover up to class 12. Ancient, medieval, modern. तीनों cover करेंगे. After that, we will do economics. After that, we will do polity. And after that, in the month of December, we will be doing geography again and science and tech. Geography and science and tech. So in the next 4 months, our target should be to complete NCERTs. Like पूरा खत्म कर दो, अच्छे से पढ़ के एक बार साइड कर दो. You will get recorded videos for these classes. We will have live sessions as well. Regular alternate live sessions. शाम में we do live session at 7:30, same time on alternate days. So we will have live sessions. You will get NCERT highlights. You will get standard books PDFs. In the meanwhile, we will be discussing about answer writing, newspaper, CSAT guidance, etc. And the fee for this entire course, not just one subject. Many a time students think, I think Pujitha is also making the mistake. Pujitha, if you have once paid for the geography batch, you do not have to pay again. So once you get enrolled by paying 1499, that's just a seriousness fee. देखो मुझे बहुत पैसा मिलता है, विजन में पढ़ा के हम यही करते ही हैं, वहां पढ़ाते हैं इसलिए कि पैसा मिले. And this batch, I truly, genuinely want to give back to the society, whatever I have got, whatever health support I have got. So 1499 is the fee for entire 4 months. And even after that, in case you are not able to attend these classes in this next 4 months, let's suppose you have your exam and you are thinking हम बाद में करेंगे. So even then, the classes will remain open for you. Recorded videos will be with you. You can watch them anytime, any number of times. No problem in that. Along with that, we will be discussing about answer writing newspaper CSAT. If you want to join, this will be starting from 1st of September. This is the number on which you can make the payment. You send the screenshot on this number. This is not my number. This is the number of the team. I have already shared my number with you. If you have any problem, anything you want to ask, even if you are not enrolling, it's not necessary that you enroll in the batch and only then I will be discussing or I will talk to you. If even if you have any question, you can text me here. Please avoid calling, and I will try to answer you as soon as you can and sort out your problems. So that's the NCERT batch that I think can be a game changer in your UPSC preparation. Baki, returning back to the very first question about consistency, how to maintain consistency in this exam. हम पढ़ने बैठते हैं और मन नहीं लगता है. I will share a few tips with you and go and try those things. Come back or text me on my number कि सर वो काम किया या नहीं किया. ठीक है? This is a few tips. First thing, daily exercise. Do not, अगर मैं पहला रूल बताऊं तो do not try to study. ठीक है? Do not force yourself that you have to study. Never do this. कभी भी जबरदस्ती पढ़ने मत बैठो. If you are feeling like you are not able to, you are not in a position to study, your mind is not ready, you are physically not ready, do not study. Do not even think about study. If you are mentally depressed, you are demotivated, do not think about study. कह रहे मेरी तो पढ़ाई छूट गई है, मेरा करियर का क्या होगा, मेरी नौकरी कैसे लगेगी, मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड टूट गई है मुझसे, नहीं नो आईएएस बनूंगा तो क्या. डोंट थिंक अबाउट दोस थिंग्स. डू नॉट फोर्स योरसेल्फ. द फर्स्ट रूल, if see all of you will recognize this pattern, say me if you, if it is right or wrong, because we do not think about ourselves ना, हम अपने आप को समझने की कोशिश नहीं करते हैं. We think that answers lies somewhere outside, but most of the times answers lies within you. Tell me this, if you agree or if you have realized this or not, or reflect back on your life. If you follow a good routine wise, not for studying. If you are waking up at the right time, if you are taking food at the right time, if you are sleeping at the right time, most of the time your studies will also go side by side. But before your study cycle get disturbed, before that your routine will get disturbed. You will not be able to sleep on the time. You will skip your food. You will eat too much or you will eat too less. You will not go out in the sun. You will feel demotivated and then you stop studying. होता है ऐसा कि नहीं होता है? What comes first? You stop studying and then you get demotivated, or you get demotivated and then you stop studying? सोचो, think about it and try to reflect back on your life and think what actually happens. I think in most of the cases, first our routine get disturbed. है ना? I'm audible to all of you? Yes, Aditi, you can get geography notes and recorded lectures also. चलो, गगन के साथ तो कम से कम ऐसा है. बाकी लोगों को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि what happens with them. Oh, my voice is audible, but so I will suggest you this, that first If you're not able to study now, if you do not know, if you're feeling demotivated, you do not know what to do in the life, first focus on your daily routine. Daily routine means do some exercise. First, wake up on time. Fix a time. If you have said that you will wake up at 7 a.m., wake up at 7. If you think you can wake up at 4, wake up at 4. But wake up at a fixed time. Do some exercise. Eat healthy foods. Go out in the sunlight. The most important thing, go out in the sunlight. Do not miss this. I have seen thousands of parents not going out in the sunlight, become extremely demotivated. Going out in the sunlight for 5-10 minutes every day releases dopamine in your mind. And this dopamine is the biggest motivator. इससे बड़ा मोटिवेटर कुछ होता ही नहीं है ह्यूमन लाइफ में. हर मोटिवेशन का रूट यही है. Whether it is the motivation to watch Instagram reels or the motivation to get Facebook or Instagram likes, whether playing video games or even having sex. Everything is determined by this dopamine, and that you can get just by going out in the sunlight 5 to 10 minutes. So never skip this. Do not forget about study. सोचना ही नहीं है कि मुझे पढ़ना भी है. Go out in the sunlight and 5 to 10 minutes stand. कुछ नहीं है तो कुर्सी लगा के बैठो. And then you will feel that energy within you. क्या होता है तुम्हारे जिंदगी में तो वो खुद समझ में आना शुरू होगा. Do some physical exercise. Break a leg. Sweet is very important. थोड़ा पसीना बहने दो शरीर से. ठीक है. Focus on fixing your daily routine. 2 दिन, 4 दिन, 1 week, whatever time it takes. Focus on your daily schedule. Second thing, sleep on time. Now, this is a very big problem in this generation. Sleeping on time. नींद ही नहीं आती है टाइम से. बेड पे जाते हैं and then you open your Instagram and you keep scrolling for hours, keep chatting with someone or waiting for someone's text and you do not sleep on time. I have a simple rule in my life. I take classes till 10:30. मेरी सोशियो ऑप्शनल की बैच जो चलती है, it starts from 9 and end at 10:30. I reply to the students' messages by 11 and I have a thumb rule. No matter what, I will switch off my phone at 11. कुछ भी हो जाए, I will switch off my phone at 11. Cut off the blue light. Change the color of your mobile phone. Always keep on the red eye comfort or red shift, whatever you have in your phone. 11 बजे फोन बंद हो जाना चाहिए. Pick a time if your plan. So I switch it at 11. I go to bed around 11:30. I had a rule that I will never be awoke after 12. कुछ भी हो जाए 12 बजे के बाद मुझे नहीं जगना है. तो मैं 12 बजे तक सो जाऊंगा. Now, even you are on a bed and you are not able to sleep because most of the time you are thinking. क्या होता है, हम बेड पे सोते हैं और फिर you started thinking about whether I will become an IAS or not, what happened to that girl who I had met at that point of time, or what will happen to my career, what will happen to my degree, or what you will suddenly have a startup idea or a book लिखने का idea. And this, it becomes very stop this thinking. I have a very simple solution. Try this and thank me later if it works. It will work. Start an audio. This audio can be anything. This can be All India AIR News, All India Radio ka news. This can be a podcast. This can be anything. When I was in college, I used to listen to Bhagavad Gita. I will start Bhagavad Gita in my phone, and within 5 or 10 minutes, I will sleep. So you can have anything, any audio, you play it, you put a timer in your phone. If you do not know, your music player are with timers. So you put a timer of 15 minutes, and you will realize that most of the times you will sleep before 15 minutes. Sonu is saying enrolled. Good, Sonu. Thank you. So stop thinking sleep on time. Wake up on time. Go for a run. Do not think about कि दिन में मुझे क्या करना है. Do whatever you want to do. Just stop or try to minimize the use of phone. If you can continue this cycle now for a few days, you will be very positive about your life. अब तुम ठीक हो. Now you are in a condition to take decisions for you. Then the big problem comes is procrastination. You have thought that you will join some class, you will start reading NCERT. Some of you are probably thinking, कितने टाइम से प्लान कर रहे हो NCERT पढ़ने का? For about a year, some of you for about a month. हो रहा है ना? बहुत टाइम से प्लान कर रहे हैं कि NCERTs पढ़ेंगे. But it's not happening. You have probably started a chapter and are not able to do. So I had a very simple solution for this. See, our mind does not want to get bored. हमारा दिमाग बोर नहीं होना चाहता है. कुछ भी हो जाए बोर नहीं होंगे. We constantly seek entertainment. Every second we seek entertainment. We seek that hit of dopamine. अगर वो नहीं मिल रहा है तो हम नहीं करेंगे कुछ काम. That's how our brain has become because of scrolling on your Instagrams. So I had a simple solution. When you have decided, let's suppose your schedule says that at 12 you will study NCERT. Class 6 NCERT you have to study at 12 p.m. And at 12 p.m. you're not feeling like studying. You think I should scroll, WhatsApp, Instagram चलाते रहे. Just do one thing. Switch off your phone at 12 and sit down. Do not do anything. Like just do not do anything. If not study, then nothing. I have not found anything which has worked better than this idea for me. First is genuinity. पहले तो खुद से ईमानदार रहो कि मैंने ये बोला है तो वो करूंगा. So I will just switch off everything and I will sit down and I will not do anything. कुछ नहीं करूंगा. No talking to anyone, no using of phone, no sleeping, nothing. And you will find that within 5 minutes your mind will get bored. Now it wants to do something. And at that time you just tell yourself, I will read the book for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Let's start. Just start reading. Do not think about कि मैं 3 घंटे पढ़ूंगा, मैं खत्म कर दूंगा book. Start reading. And if you are a good student, if you have that thing into you, all the subjects are so interesting. Polity, geography, economics, whatever you pick, they're so interesting. वो 5-10 मिनट हम स्टार्ट करने से बस डरते हैं. बस स्टार्ट करो. Take the book at the time that you have decided. Be honest with yourself and start. You'll find a lot of changes. It's already very late. I have to start a class at 9. Sorry, I could not take a lot of questions. I will just repeat this, announce about this batch once again. We will be starting the classes from 1st September. We will start with history of class 6. In September, we will complete history. In October, we will cover economics. In November, we will cover polity, all from class 6 to 12. In December, we will cover again geography, science, and everything else. That's the game plan. In between, I will be there for all the doubts about preparation that you have. You can ask me. We will be meeting live in the live classes. You can ask all your doubts. We will have answer writing, newspaper, CSET guidance. The payment number is this. You can pay your fee 1499 and send the screenshot on this number if you have made the payment. I will take a few questions before ending this. पेमेंट स्कैनर भेज दो पेटीएम स्कैनर भेज दो आई थिंक be a little smarter. I'm not that smart, so I hope you can do it. Anybody has any doubt, any question? Pooja is saying, is this batch only for beginners? Yes, this batch is for beginners. This batch is for beginners. But what my experience suggests, I have seen many students, you will find, if you join, you will find many students who are already enrolled in many of the coaching institutes in Delhi. After joining the coaching, they realize, "Kare, हमारा तो base है ही नहीं. We have no base." Then they realize, okay, going to the classes doesn't make any sense because no coaching will actually start at the foundation. Himanshu, yes, most of the classes are in English. In between, at some point, I will be explaining a few things in Hindi because, yes, it's mostly in English. Because many students are also from South India, many are from North India. So wherever required, I have explained it in Hindi as well, but most of the time it's in English. So that's it. Any other question, anyone? Kamlesh, the live sessions will happen at 7:30 in the evening. Other than that, you will get the recording of the classes. You can watch it whenever you are able to watch. Yeah, it's both, Himanshu. चलो ठीक है. And we will be having some other sessions. I think a few questions I was not able to take. I will be taking those questions. And thank you, Anushka. I hope this was useful and at least you get some clarity what options to choose, what not to choose, where to go, what to do. And you also get some clarity whether you should prepare for UPSC or not, what are the other career options. If you are still in dilemma कि तुम्हें UPSC करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए, I would strictly suggest that before going to Delhi, before making payments of lakhs of rupees, check yourself. Do you have a genuine interest in social studies? Do you like reading these books? If not, then do not go for this. We can try something else. Pooja Mukherjee from West Bengal. चलो ठीक है. Thank you, Shravan. Thank you, Narmada. Sure. Bye.